everybody. You are watching us live on the Facebook page of the Tampa Bay Chamber. We are doing a takeover of the page because this morning we've been at the CDC of Tampa here in the East Tampa neighborhood. Joining me is Mr. Ernest Coney, who is the CEO of this wonderful organization. And this morning we've had quite a few members of the Chamber with our Minority Empowerment Program. We've also had members here who are engaged in our Minority Business Accelerator. And so we just want to thank Ernest and his fellow teammates on our panel this morning for all the great information that you all gave the people who were attending. And so we thought this would be a great time to share some of the information that you shared with our participants with folks who are joining us now on Facebook. So Ernest, first of all, I know you're a very busy man, so thank you for joining us.
Definitely.
And so I guess the first question will be what you answered for the group, which is tell us the role that the CDC of Tampa has played in helping businesses that are African-American owned businesses as well as Hispanic owned businesses.
Yes. So let's say really glad to be here with the Chamber. It's such an exciting time and such an exciting topic to really talk about how we really build ecosystems, right? So, you know, the CDC of Tampa was really created to birth and help advance economic opportunities. So we think about all of us having like dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and a lot of those are revealed through entrepreneurship and how exciting it is that a lot of people want to own their own business. So we want to make sure that there's less barriers to that, right? So that's what the CDC really plays, is how do we provide access to technical assistance, access to capital, access to procurement opportunities, all the things that begin to trip up organizations and businesses. And part of that reason is we look at what are the fastest growing companies? They're small businesses, they're minority owned businesses. Those are the ones that are having the job creation, right? And then of course, from a social justice standpoint, we think about income disparities, wealth disparities. Having your own business helps to change those, right? That dynamic. So everything from job creation to wealth creation are all the reasons that the CDC of Tampa is really excited about partnering along with these entrepreneurs.
And so many, the fabric of our community is built on small businesses, right? It's really a part of the fabric of our community.
Exactly. You think about like even the place where we have like these Fortune 500 companies, but at some point they started in a garage. At some point they started like an idea with two friends just talking about it. So this is an exciting journey for these entrepreneurs.
One of the things that the folks in the room wanted to hear more about was access to capital. And you talked about there are certain steps that you really should have in place when you're attempting to access more capital. Can you answer that before we go on to our next person?
Yeah, definitely. So, when you think about access to capital, there's probably two main important points. One is the preparation for the moment, right? So sometimes we have a great idea, but then do we have a business plan around that? And there's a lot of help and assistance to get business plans. You can go to, BBIF, you can come to the CDC of Tampa, you can go to SBDC. There's a lot of groups that can help you formulate your business plan, but it's critical to have that. And then the second thing behind that is also the relationships you have with your bankers, right? Because oftentimes, one of the challenges that we have as minority businesses is sometimes we don't have the wealth and liquidity that other counterparts may have. So it's going to be imperative to make sure that we understand and have relationships with banks that want to invest in your concept, that want to invest because maybe where you're going to domicile your business, right? So understanding and having those relationships with those bankers is critically important. And having that relationship, like I have 4 different bankers on my cell phone, right? I can call them at any time, they call me. So having that is critically important to make sure that you can grow your business. So it's not at a point where, you're in distress, you have a huge need. It's at the moment you build relationships so that you can prevent the distress in moments of crisis.
Use your resources, right? Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're such a busy man, and greetings to your mom. The conversations that you hear behind us are members who were joining us this morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here at the CDC of Tampa. We had our session 3 of our Minority Empowerment Program with a panel of experts answering questions. And now here we're joined by Tarneisha Peters is the Tarneisha Peters is the Regional Director in West Florida of Black Business Investment Fund. Thank you so much for staying a little bit so you can join our audience on Facebook. The questions that you were asked are so transformational, right? For the business owner or even the person who is thinking of owning their own business, for them to know that they have resources. Tell us about your organization and how you all are helping folks.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. BBIF has been around over 35 years, and we stem from a statute whereas there was injustice towards Black people in South Florida. So therefore, just quickly, there was a riot, and a lot of homes and businesses were destroyed, and the businesses were not able to recover. So therefore, we were able to, the state of Florida were able to come up with a statute, whereas they were helping small businesses, such as those businesses that were destroyed, to be able to recover. And it just kind of carried on from there, and it's been over 35 years. So therefore, the programs that we have over 7 different types of loan products that stem from anywhere from Black businesses on down to veterans. And we are an SBA provider as well, lender. And at the end of the day, we also provide technical assistance services, whereas it's financial literacy that we provide for free to anyone. So you can be a startup business and you're looking for some support, and then you're also looking to have someone to provide information, resources that are available. We actually provide that, and all of that is for free.
What would you say what is the URL, the website where people watching this can go for more information?
So they can go to www.bbif.com. And if you want more information about the different loan products, because we do have drop down where you can get the criterias, because most of our loan products doesn't require like a minimum credit score. We do like to see at least a 620, and if it's not that, we tend to look more into depth of your business and your financials, because we do a holistic approach, and we want to make sure that we're able to support you in whatever you need. So if there is something different other than the 620, we kind of dig deeper, like looking into like your credit and see what the issues are. And if there's something like COVID, then you write a letter and tell us, hey, there's a problem, and this is why, and then we can still possibly help you. And if not, we will help you with the technical support to getting you where you need to go.
Okay, so one of the questions that the audience asked you was, do I have to have a certain threshold of revenue before I can qualify for a grant from the BBIF?
So for that particular question, when it comes down to grants, let's talk about grants. Now, every other year, we tend to do a Reverse the Red. Reverse the Red is a pitch competition that, provides grants up to $50,000 for startups. That is our opportunity that we're able to help startups at that time, because most of our loans, you have to have at least 2 years. So for someone that's looking for funding and they're like, oh, it's hard to find grants, well, you can do our pitch competition and we're able to support you when it comes down to the financial aspect. But when it comes down to criteria, you have to at least be a part of our technical assistance program and just getting the support around you and your business. I always tell people it's like gaining a team. So
yes. Yeah, you have a team of experts, right? Because
you have a team of experts.
Each person is an expert in their subject matter, and so it's important, you said, to use your resources.
Use your resources. I mean, why not? And then come to spaces like the CDC, come to the Fifth Third events, come to the chamber events, and be able to network. And I always say, find the smartest person in the room and be their friend. Take them to lunch and, pick their brain, understand, some of the things that we don't know everything. You may be skillful at one thing, but somebody could be skillful at something else, and it's okay to let them know that, I would like to learn from you. It's important to, like I say, be around people that, know things that you don't.
First of all, Madam Chair, thank you for the great job that you're doing with our Minority Empowerment Program. We've got a great class, and they're all so eager to learn so many different things. You've been in banking for a long time, and you shared some of that when you were talking with a group, and specifically, you shared your point of view on what are some of the things that entrepreneurs have to consider when they're trying to access capital? That's one of the first questions that you were asked. Can you share that with our audience here?
Yeah, sure, and thank you for having me here. I mean, it's a great to see the participants and how active they are. But yeah, have been been in the banking for 18 years. What I tell my clients is it's really important to understand your business plan and follow your business plan. When we're talking about access to capital, you want to really have it handled on your revenue streams and how you are able to consistently maintain that. Also, too, you want to make sure that you're running a profitable business. You want to keep close eye on your profit margins and making sure that if something is not working, make sure you go back and you revisit. And ultimately, once you're running a profitable business, you're not going to have an issue having access to capitals, and different options will open up. But I think understanding and follow through with that consistency throughout your business model, you want to make sure that you execute on that and follow through.
Okay. One of the things that you were asked was about the obstacles.
Yeah.
Based on, all the different folks that you've worked with in your banking career, but also, the stories that you hear as the chair of our Minority Empowerment Program. What would you say is like a common obstacle, one or two, that so many entrepreneurs face when they're in that process of accessing capital?
Yeah, oftentimes you find that businesses are not generating enough profits. You often hear you work, you generate revenues, but you're not seeing it in the bottom line. So what I tell my MEP participants and my clients, you have to just go back and revisit at what is it that is look at your income statement and see, number one, what is it that is not allowing you to turn that revenue into a profit. You also need to be aware of your fixed expenses. You need to be aware of and prepare for unexpected expenses. And you need to manage and mitigate those risks accordingly, in hand. So, I think that the bottom line is just paying close attention to, what you put together, what your vision is, and sticking to that, because you could lose sight of, things are coming your way left and right, and you just want to make sure that you stay focused. You go back and always, you live and breathe your business plan. You look back and you say, okay, these are the things that are fixed, that are not going to change. I'm going to modify and prepare for unexpected that could impact my business, and execute.
Yeah.
And be mindful of that, and look at different resources and just in general to get you educated on how to do that. Speak to your banker, speak to your accountant, speak to your financial mentor. There's a lot of resources. Yes.
Use your resources.
Yes, use your resources.
Thank you, Kosetty Polanco of Bank of America, also our chairwoman for the 2024 Minority Empowerment Program. And now we're joined by the last member of our panel, certainly last but not least, Mr. Shawn Ferguson, who is a specialist in startup technology and finance here at the Florida SBDC at Hillsborough County. Long name, important job, so much impact, wonderful impact on local Black and Hispanic businesses. Can you start off by telling folks who are watching this, what are some of the services, the impact that the SBDC has had in our region? What do you all do?
Okay, so some of the service we provide, we offer workshops, a number of workshops on a variety of different business topics, such as marketing, business planning. We're actually starting our SCWP program up pretty soon, within a month, and that focuses on mindset and helping the entrepreneur understand all the workshops, all the classes that they need to take to be a successful entrepreneur. So along with workshops, we provide one-on-one consulting, where we meet with the individual one-on-one to really explore what problems they're having, what help and assistance that they need. And we just probably go from there and just provide that service.
For the person that's listening, that sounds like very expensive coaching consulting work. And what is your message to them?
Okay, and my message to you is The services are already paid for through tax dollars.
Free.
So the services are free, offered at no cost. We like to use the word no cost because free makes it sound like it's no value. So we think it's a very high value, and we hope that you take advantage of the opportunity. We have a team of consultants that are willing to help you at all levels of your business. So please just reach out to us. We want to assist you.
Shawn, one of the things that you talk about with participants who take advantage of this at the SBDC is the entrepreneur mindset. Explain to us what that is.
Well, thinking like an entrepreneur is a little different than, someone who is used to working with someone. You're working for someone. You have to, be a risk taker and be able to take measured risk. Helping you understand that from a mindset perspective that not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. It takes a high level of dedication, working extremely long hours, and you may not even get paid. But the workshop, the mindset workshop, really helps the entrepreneur understand some of those peaks and valleys that they may experience during their entrepreneur journey.
And go into it with a realistic, clear expectations of what they can expect.
Exactly. We've had some people go through the program and decide that they don't want to be an entrepreneur because of the amount of work and dedication that it may take to get them started. So it's really a good course or workshop to really get a feel what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's so nice to meet you. And again, we've had a fabulous time here this morning at the CDC of Tampa. This is session 3 of our Minority Empowerment Program here at the Tampa Bay Chamber. Shawn and the other experts like him have really done a great job of creating a safe space, no judgment, where the entrepreneur, the business owner can ask questions and not be afraid, is this going to be a dumb question, or should I already know this? The point is, you have resources. That's what the Chamber family does, creates a network of experts around you. And so we could not do the job that we do without the partners like the SBDC, like the CDC of Tampa. And so thank you so much for joining us. And with that, I think we're going to say, as they say in TV, it's a wrap. It's our first Facebook Live. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining us today.